All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Episode 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not 36.
Not 36. I don't know what you were talking about there.
It's just off by 20. Not much.
Well, now you're making me have to, check here.
Because I was off by 20?
No, it is 16. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Screw me up here. All right, cool. So this episode, we have them going to get their training going on for Hamon. Yes. And I am really excited to see that, we're excited to see, like, not just the training bit, but hopefully some more stuff from the Pillarmen as to what their, like, reasoning is just for the stone of plot stuff, the red stone of Aja.
It's the, just power. And
I think it's the power and, kind of ascendance into godhood kind of stone.
Exactly, because they're already immortal, so they're, very close.
Yeah, they're pretty much there.
Yeah.
The brotherhood aspect of Caesar and JoJo would be
nice.
Would be nice as well.
That's what I'm really excited for. Mm-hmm. The antics that they do alongside the training.
Right.
Because otherwise it wouldn't really feel like a month.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
All right. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
All right. Saw that coming.
Yep. Oh, if you do 1 point, it sends a single frequency out instead of sending a bunch of them that collide with each other.
Alright.
Got that jump?
He's like, that logic. Communicated it perfectly.
Alright, train him, Caesar. Oh, your coach.
Okay.
Effort and work. Because it's beautiful and there's water everywhere. Oh, an island.
Semblance.
Cool. Who dis? Okay.
Is this his
mentor? Maybe. Yeah.
Isn't that a girl?
It might not be. Ha! Nice. Nice.
This can be the
coach.
No, but
Oh, you're right. She's the new badass female character you were hoping for.
Yep, that can continue the JoJo legacy.
Wait, did he say Lisa?
Yep.
But that's not her real name?
Her eyes are very blue.
Yeah. However, oh my gosh. Ha!
Okay. Cool.
Wow. What? Oh, to restrict his breathing.
Nice.
To make it harder to breathe. Yeah.
If you do not breathe correctly, you do not move correctly. Okay.
Wow. That's intense. Whoa!
Okay. And toothbrushing. It's very important.
Very important. Oh, how convenient. I like her.
Oh yeah, she's
Lisa.
Yeah.
Oh no.
お辞儀しろ。なんだ？女ったらしのてめえがやけにこの女には礼儀正しいじゃねえかよ。
But she kicks my butt when I'm not.
Oh,
Alright.
Yeah. Good man.
Well, this guy might end up marrying your mother.
She's wealthy.
That entire island.
Oh! They have to climb water. They have to climb water. Oh, oil? Whoa! Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
人呼んで地獄へ登る柱ヘルクライムピラーなんてこったジョジョ長引けば長引くほど体力を消耗するぞ
Oh, because yeah, it's filling up.
いかん俺の方も余裕などない
Didn't she say using only your hands?
今まで何人もの修行者が
Yeah.
柱を登れず死んでいっただと脳みそ足りなかったのと違うの
Yep. Mm-hmm. She, it's like, nope, that's not cool.
ハモン以外の方法で登ることは柱へ対しての冒涜。このヘルクライムピラーはハモンだけを好み、ハモン以外を跳ね返す。それを忘れてはならぬ。
して気合い入れてから後で本当は助けてくれるんだろ
Nope.
はしごとかでさ残酷な目だあの女の目あれは本気で見捨てるつもりの目だ
Awesome.
の方がピタリとくっつくので体重が支えられるイメージがあった
Ah.
実際は奇妙だが
Right.
逆だ
Because the Hamon is stronger when it's focused. Yep.
波紋は指先
Alright.
の方が強いあの穴どう
He's looking at the camera!
I know.
He's looking at the camera!
掴んだかこの柱は上へ行くほどオーバーハングしている
Oh, he's almost upside down now.
大変ってことだ
Oh.
あの女を象徴するように
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's dirty.
ひびだちょうど指が引っかかる
It's a trap.
It's a trap! Don't do it!
ラッキー休めるぞうれぴーやったぜ
What is that?
なんだ今のは気をつけろ何か吹き出すぞ
Whoa.
やべえ俺がスイッチを入れてしまったのかよ
Holy crap. Is this some kind of blade?
柱の高さ24メートル中
Whoa. It's gonna blow them off.
Yeah. He's gonna test it out.
Gets cut in half.
Yep. Yep.
これはカミソリのように鋭い超高圧のバリア
Alright.
なんだよシーザーお前
So you have to close it with their Hamon, possibly.
方法は一つ
Oh, legit!
Although,
柱についている
didn't she say to climb only using... Well, I guess he's not climbing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, baby!
Alright, that's pretty cool.
But he watched you do it, so he just has to figure it out.
This could actually be his way to get the breath mask off if he really wanted to. Just...
Oh, he made it up.
登頂成功
Jeez.
61 hours.
ジョジョの性格から考えると
Yes. Probably.
先生くっせー一か八かの賭けだぜやってみるかやめろジョジョそこにじっとしてろ刻むぜハモンのビート
Oh!
He's just gonna try and get through it all at once.
Yeah. This music, though.
ジョジョまさかバリアの下をハモンで滑った
Wait.
壁のところまで遠くなれば弱くなっている
So it'll be weaker at the end.
Okay.
And then he'll land on top of it and walk across it. But he's not climbing on the pillar now.
未だかつてこんな方法で柱を登った者は一人もいない。自分のマイナスを逆に利用するなど抜け目のないやつ。
Focus the breathing. Oh.
Is Sensei gonna like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
先生、彼を救うためにこのシーザーが手を貸すことをお許しください。
それはいいけどシーザー、あなたの体力ももう限界じゃなかったの？
あ、忘れてた。お願いだ。手を離さないでくれ。シーザー。10秒後、ジョジョ。
Obviously, don't go like 13 times. Okay, that was hilarious. Oh my gosh. He's like, really, dude?
He's dead.
Oh, gotcha.
感動したぜ。早く次の修行に移ってくれ。
言われなくても修行のメニューはたっぷり用意してるわ。死ぬほど感動してちょうだい。
I'll press you into the ground. That's kind of a depressing.
Okay.
Whoa.
この二人は私の屋敷の召使いであり、
Meshina and
あなた方の
Logs.
師範代にな
Her
る
servants.
メッシーナとロギンズです。
とてもここまではできん。これからは俺たちがみっちりと鍛えてやっからよ。
All right.
From boys to men.
That's like a nightmare of mine. That's hard to look at, actually. 10 times a second?
What?
Oh man, I couldn't even do that if I... That's insane! Oh, here we go. Still going. Oh, right. A week left. Oh, wait, is that the end of the episode?
Guess so.
Alright,
Wow.
well, we were basically right. 2 episodes
Yes.
for training.
Right.
One's primarily just the training, and the next one's probably going to have some bleed over with the Pillarmen stuff.
Or
and
with
training.
just aftermath of training.
Or aftermath of training, that's true. Like, I would say that the next episode probably won't just be training, is my point.
Right.
But yeah, but this training in particular took the kind of the forced environment kind of training where it's man against the crazy
The
environment elements thing and overcoming it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that Lisa,
Yeah,
I gotta remember that.
You have to get both of them.
Yeah, to get both of them. Isn't exactly isn't exactly taking it easy on them, but she is rewarding the clever thinking bit, whereas I think
Yes.
another type of trainer like her would basically scold them for trying to cheat it. Or at least
Possibly,
JoJo.
yeah.
Because JoJo failed the test,
Well, and,
essentially. Like, he
right.
overcame it with clever thinking, but it's kind
And
of
some help.
And some help. But that's a good point to have it be that way instead of having it be a thing where he just naturally beats it because he's so gifted, you know?
Exactly. I was kind of surprised that they went that avenue for getting around it.
Yeah.
But they dropped about a dozen little flags, though, that Lisa is going to be Lisa JoJo, or Joestar.
Well, the funny thing is, if you think
Like-
about Lisa, it's a name, copy,
Exactly.
JoJo.
Lisa and JoJo, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of works. But
Just a bit.
I don't know if that's necessarily happening anytime soon.
No.
Yeah.
But he literally, like, one of the first things he literally said was, "There's no way I'd ever marry her."
And
Like,
we're thinking in my head, you say that now.
and
But-
then it will be really awkward for Caesar.
But to be fair, it's kind of the convenience aspect of there being only one female character that he could,
That's
you
true.
know, at this time. And that's maybe
But-
more of the fact that this is kind of a meat sack kind of show where just there's a bunch of beefy guys doing
you need
crazy
to use
stuff.
those 2 words in
I have no idea why I chose those 2 words in particular. Beefcakes makes way more sense now that I think about it.
Anyways, but the thing is that by introducing Lisa like this, it's making it so that it's like, okay, you know, it's doing that opposite thing again from what they did in Phantom Blood.
Right.
Jonathan becomes Joseph, Erina becomes Lisa.
Right.
It works.
It does work, yeah. Also, the fact that she's a Hamon wielder means that she will actually be able to be involved potentially with the main story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she doesn't have to be a sideline character, literally there to be a love interest and to bear a child for the story to continue, basically. But I like that Granny Erina is the way she is now. It's the idea that she's become a more integral character since the first 9 episodes. With the whole idea of them potentially I'm talking about Caesar and JoJo, having some kind of brother connection. Is this kind of the beginning of that with him kind of helping him out?
I believe so, yeah.
I think that's a good thing to show because I'm always looking for hints about the whole Dio potential connection. And I like the idea that this is a character that is going to save JoJo, and if there's a Dio connection, potentially be his mortal enemy.
Right. So here's my question that I'm wondering. So they seem to really focus on that thing of like JoJo falling and then him grabbing his arm.
Right.
So what if they did like a reverse of that, like Scar style, where
long live true
JoJo, long live the JoJo, and just
oh, you mean having JoJo drop the Dio?
No, have the Dio drop JoJo. That's like this parallel of like. They used to be friends, they were like brothers, and now...
Sure.
Bye-bye, JoJo!
Goodbye, JoJo! Yeah, I think that would be hilarious, because that would also mean that Lion King potentially is a
JoJo's reference.
But outside of that, because that's pure speculation, the episode focusing on them utilizing Hamon in different ways means that we're probably not going to get some new technique or new power. It's going to be about how to use Hamon in more creative ways. And here's the thing that I thought that they brought up was pretty cool, is the idea of different types of Hamon.
Yeah,
because they had overdrives all throughout the first season, essentially.
Yes.
But they have not used really too much overdrive stuff since then.
In fact, maybe Joseph hasn't really used any named techniques at all.
Oh, yeah, he has. He just throws around a quick name, but he never reuses them.
Yeah, he just calls it like some silly name that he makes up on the spot. But it's it's the idea that it's not. And Jonathan made them up on the fly too.
Right.
But I feel like it's used more for comedy when Joseph does it than actually for anything serious.
Right, and the idea that he could use different types of Hamon leads us to maybe potentially understand more about how Hamon itself works. Okay. So that when they pull more powers out of thin air, there's a little bit more structure to it. Right. So I'm looking forward to that, because what that little pillar climbing thing reminded me of kind of a Mulan situation where it's like you must climb the thing.
To get around it.
And he did try to get around it, and it did work eventually, but his first 2 attempts were like, nope, you're trying to do it the wrong way.
Well, and specifically, he tried to get around it the same way Mulan ended up.
Yes, with the rope around it technique. He's like, hey, maybe no one got up here because they're too stupid. And then her throwing knife, done.
Yep. And that's another interesting point. I think that's the first time we've actually seen a Hamon wielder use traditional weapons.
No, we saw Jonathan use the sword. The sword of luck and luck.
That's right.
You can't forget that. That cut Dio in half down the middle.
That's true.
That was really effective.
That's true.
I could see one of the aspects of having more Hamon wielders is we see people with different styles of certain objects. The idea with Joseph
infused armor.
Yeah, possibly. But I think that's what basically Strizo had as his scarf. It was basically armor against Hamon. It doesn't look like actual armor, but it provided the same function as armor.
Yeah, because it was anti-Hamon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was his "I'm going to betray you" weapon.
Exactly.
It's like, why would you have a defense thing against Hamon? It's like, no reason. But with Lisa using knives at that one point, what if that's her thing? Is that she utilizes Hamon specifically in like blades
with weapons.
Yeah, like weapons in particular. And it's probably really effective. But having that be offset by JoJo, who pulls all kinds of things out of nowhere to use like that, and that's something where he learns a bit of how to use that better with what she knows. But these new servants and teachers and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like they're there to build up Lisa more in particular, which I like, because while it's introducing more characters that you don't really like care about, it's building up the sense of like mystery and almost wonder around Lisa of like, oh, she's really
why
badass.
Is she so good?
Like it's not just that she's awesome.
Her? Yeah,
exactly. But she also has these other people that she probably trained, and she didn't just call them her like students; they're her servants.
Right. Yeah. They learn from her, and now they serve her. So like she is the master.
Does she have like a whole crew of like Hamon cooks and like?
Well, she's building an army to defeat their enemies.
That's right.
The enemies are the people that are the wielders of the mask, the ones that have that power. So she is the more militant, I would say, kind of Olivier Armstrong type Hamon wielder. Whereas Zeppeli was kind of the going around on a quest, like an ultimate quest. She's more like, I am the one that's like, I will train more like me.
Yeah.
Whereas Zeppeli seemed to be a little bit more, I'm on a mission myself, and I have to do this myself. Yeah. I have people that have trained me and stuck with me, but
he had more the monk approach, whereas she has more of like the, I am a military commander, and I will, make sure that you guys are up to snuff. And
but imagine that, a battle lines drawn up between
an army of Hamon wielders,
army of Hamon wielders
against
the Pillarmen and their slaves. Basically,
which
whoever
could potentially be a bunch
vampires.
of other. Oh, okay, yeah, that's true too.
Because if you have the lesser vampire beings, then they can be the ones that the general armies fight each other.
Right. There could also be something where there ends up being like a few dozen Pillarmen. And then, like, they could have their vampires and ghouls, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay, if they get into, like, epic battles, like, with armies in JoJo's...
I feel like an army is basically, like, 12 to 20 people. I don't think that this show is going to be...
12 to 20...
on each side.
On each side? Okay, sure.
That's pretty decent.
That is very decent. That's way more than we had at the end of Phantom Blood. But, like, if we got a point where, like, okay... Because, like...
Maybe in a flashback. I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe in a flashback. Though. Okay, not like... Do you think at any point during JoJo's we're going to have, like, two armies? Like,
well, the reason why I'd say it would be cool, but the reason why I don't think it actually even fits within the theme of the show is the idea that...
JoJo is the hero?
Well, not only JoJo is the hero, but if you think about, like, a bunch of them all being like, I'm ready to fight you, it looks a little bit silly after a certain point. Because it looks too similar, and if they get all into kind of like kind of militant battle formations,
then it doesn't have the style.
It doesn't have the style.
But what if they did do the battle formations? Like there would just be everyone would be going blind because there would be so many different colors on each side.
I feel like what would happen is it would be for like 3 frames. Like, it wouldn't be a thing where they would draw it out in any way. And then they would cut to a bunch of different places where there are 2-on-2, 1v3, 1v1 fights, like, happening all over the place.
I could see that. I still think that would be so cool. If we got, like Lord of the Rings style, like, drawing up battle lines of, like, okay, we have all these people on our side. Thank you all for coming today. JoJo says it's like...
I could see that being pretty cool in the future, maybe when... the show gets a little bit more grand and like,
that's true. Yeah, because it's expanding its cast, but it's still
it's
not quite there yet.
It's not quite there yet. Yeah, I feel like we need more characters in general and a little bit more of an overarching plot.
Right, because we don't have one apart from the Pillarmen right now, and that was just something that they sort of stumbled into.
Right. It's the idea that JoJo's has kind of this bizarre, no pun intended, aspect to the plot where the fates seem to have twisted the JoJo's lineage with the problems of having stuff just happen around them that's crazy.
The Sono Chino Sadame opening was just so powerful it rewrote the universe.
Right, exactly. But until I'd say like we've got them being the most like world renowned like fighters and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's kind of the idea of, I hate to draw a connection here, but I think it's kind of like Dragon Ball Z, actually, in a way where you have the hero, Goku, end up pulling all these legendary fighters to them. Right. Unfortunately, in that, there's only 1 or 3 really good people in there.
And it's still sort of a wait for Goku.
But the idea is that when there were big fights involved with large massive groups, they would all get to be pulled out and be basically the Z-Force army or what have you against whatever horde of nameless faceless baddies there would be. And it kind of worked in those specific instances.
And here's the thing that would be super great if they did that in JoJo's. So one of the big problems with a big battle like that is that it would be chaotic, right? And how do you focus on all of the things at once without it just seeming like a big mess? Here's how you do it. You have Speedwagon with a megaphone on a hilltop and binoculars, and he's watching the whole thing, giving us the bird's eye view sort of summary of what's going on.
I can't
you
take
occasionally
you seriously
see
right now.
Through the binoculars as he's going from fight to fight.
I can't take you seriously right
Just
now.
Just dream a little.
No, that's hilariously stupid. But I love where your mind wants to go because of how awesome Speedwagon is.
It would be amazing.
I also want to say though that I'm okay with this slowing down a little bit with the show and stuff. It was kind of silly how they did the time skip thing. But I respect, actually, that they're time skipping because unless you do the training arc of a story very well, you need to have little moments like that where you just kind of cut the fat.
And they still didn't time skip to the very end. So we'll get to see a little bit more from that in the next episode, probably. So
Right. But I respect that decision a lot. It's a good one as far as things are concerned. But it also makes it a point where this episode doesn't have much to discuss outside of where things could go in the future. Do we have any idea of what the Pillarmen's stone Aja red thing
will do?
I
don't think so. Maybe make them create shoot lasers from their forehead, but Dio was able to do that, and they created the vampires.
Yeah. But they didn't discuss wanting to find their sleeping brethren and awaken them, which I find actually a little bit interesting. I wonder why that is. I feel like right now, if I'm one of them, and I know that we're sleeping, it means there are probably others of us sleeping.
Well, here's another question.
But, hold on. The idea is that in this state, are they unstoppable?
They certainly think they are.
If they think they are, then I don't see what the stone could be, other than maybe a way for them to find all their brethren.
Possibly.
Basically, the idea that it's not necessarily some kind of blatant power-up.
Maybe it's like a kingship.
Yeah, it's something that can basically be the key to linking them all.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe awakening them all.
Or I could totally see that.
Yeah, or maybe some kind of... Yeah, say some kind of link thing.
Yeah.
But if it is a power-up kind of thing...
Yeah.
What if that means that there will be potential infighting within the Pillarmen? Because, like you said, there's only one mask.
Right.
And potentially Lord Kars is the only one that, would probably wear this mask.
But they haven't brought that up unless the walking in the shadow thing was...
Maybe.
Them trying to, do some sort of...
Maybe. But the idea that there would be other Pillarmen...
That might be competing for it if they...
is the reason why they're not waking them up.
Yeah, because one of the big questions is if these Pillarmen, okay, I get that they might have ruled the world and been all over the place and stuff, but why were they sealed away in different places? If you have something like that, that would make it seem like they were all sealed away at the same time, or when they were sealed away, the other ones didn't try to break them out.
Or here's actually my thought. I think it's a little bit more simple than that, is the idea that the Pillarmen were the seeded descendants of these aliens that we kind of speculated on, that
But they have memories of when they were
hold on. But yes, but the idea is that they weren't given to the Earth to be sealed away. It's the idea that when they were beaten... They were beaten at different times and at different places because they ruled the world, and these were the rulers of those specific areas.
Okay.
So, Kars, in particular, is not a lord over all of them. He is a lord over this area, and he's saying...
jurisdiction.
And he wants to be the lord of all of them.
Okay.
So he says, okay, I am not going to open up that person because they're stronger than me and they could...
Right, so I'm going to get the mask and then open up all of them.
And then open up all of them, and then I'll be the supreme ruler of all the the Pillar
all right, I can see that.
Yeah. I feel like that is a reason as to why they're not looking for their other brethren is because right now Kars is not as unstoppable as he could be.
And that could be how they keep this going a bit longer and escalate it even further.
Yes.
Maybe they fail. Kars gets the mask.
Yes.
Because, like, okay, you kind of have to have him get the mask because you have to see what he's like at the power-up so that way, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, right?
Right, yeah.
And that could be the way they escalate it even further. Mm-hmm. So at that point, it's not just that Kars is, a god or whatever, but he's also woken up all the other Pillar Men, and now then they could have some kind of sort of army on army. It is just like
and not only that, it lends credence to the possibility that they could use JoJo's incredible powers of charisma to convince a Pillarman to aid them, thereby giving them a good plot reason as to how they could actually stop Lord Kars, especially since he already has some kind of a friendship with
what was it?
What was his name? Wamu.
Yeah, Wamu. Oh my god.
Or Wamu or something.
Yeah.
I feel like that's another like music sound like band reference or something.
We're rather uncultured when it comes to old style music,
classic music.
Great episode though.
Yeah, I'd say it did what it needed to do. Yep. And it continued the bro thing between Caesar and JoJo.
And introduced
a new character. So I get the feeling that this arc is just kind of still beginning. We still got some space to go through with this one. Because they're still introducing characters, Jacob.
That's true. That's true.
And she's pretty much a main character, I'd say. Yeah. In terms of design, in terms of the premise of her character.
And they literally pasted plot on her forehead.
Just a little bit. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah. All right, guys, if you want to watch the next JoJo's reaction, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access and watch all kinds of other shows as well. But you can also get access to the Discord where you can chat with us about storytelling or what have you. And yeah, we'll see you there. But until then, of course, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.